Hold on here. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Doc.
Good morning to you all.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
You are doing well on yourself.
We are fine, thank you, sir.
Good. Do we have a forum now? The number of students that we are looking for? Class rep.
We don't have everyone on board because some of them are still will be at work.
They'll be at work.
Yeah, so
So do you recommend we wait for a while or we start?
we can start since we are recording. I guess after the class, we can share with them so that they can also listen through.
Okay. All right. So okay, let me upload and then I also mark the register. Okay, please mention your name. I'll mention your name if you are here. You respond so that I can mark you, okay? Theophilus Jansen.
Yes, Prof.
Maxwell Suka.
Present, Prof.
Louisa Essina Mensah.
She's
Louisa,
at work there.
okay. Christian N. Yebua.
Present, sir.
Estana Asade Tete.
Esther is also at work.
Okay. Gladys Ofosua Dampari.
Present, sir.
Millicent Amankwa. Millicent Amankwa. Robert Kojo Amegavi. Robert Kojo Amegavi. Gifty Lai.
Present, sir. Sir, please, this is Millicent. I was having a little challenge with my network.
Okay. Robert Kojo Amegavi. Gifty Lai. Yusuf Waibriga Bawa.
Yes, sir.
Sir, please, this is Gifty.
Okay, Gifty Lai. All right. It's Prince around.
Yes, sir.
Ima-
Prince God
Praise God in God.
Ofosu.
Also.
Yes, sir.
Emmanuel Opoku. Christiana Amakai Norte.
Present, sir. Present.
Thank you. I've got it.
Thank you. I've got it.
Enesina receiver.
Present, sir.
And we have Philip Akoto Kwabena Jan. Philip Akoto Kwabena Jan. All right. These are the students who are in class today. So I'll go straight to.
Hello, Prof.
Yes.
Please, sorry, this is Christian Ayeboa. When you mentioned my name, I responded, but I don't know if you heard me because I was on the motor.
I didn't hear you, so I'm gonna.
Yes, Christiana Ayeboa.
Okay, Christiana Ayeboa, hold on.
Yes.
So apart from Christiana, do I have everybody here?
Sir, please, this Millicent, I don't know if you got mine right.
Millicent Amankwa?
Yes, please.
Yes, I got you right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
This is Celestina.
What's the name?
Celestina Ofufu.
Let's check. Ernestina Kisiwa.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll mark you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, in case the rest comes to mark them, okay?
Okay, Prof.
Yeah, let's go now to. All right. I'll do the formal introduction when we meet in class next week. Because we are doing online, I don't want us to wait too much time. when I meet you face to face, everybody will introduce ourselves. I'll introduce myself as well. But for a time being, I am the one going to take you in this course. My name is Professor Ebenezer Malcolm, the Dean of School of Graduate Studies and Research at Tesano campus. You know where the graduate school is located. And then I've seen that on your timetable, we are supposed to be meeting twice, correct?
Yes, Prof.
Yes, sir. Yep. Yes, Prof.
Okay. And then all of them, is it face-to-face or online?
It's face to face, but on Thursday is 1 period, 1 hour. Then
1
Wednesday
hour.
is 2 hours. Yeah.
They splitted this thing, the time, eh?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. I see, 1 hour. It's
Yeah, on
away.
Thursday.
We'll see, because to come, or do you have lecture that day?
Yeah, we have lectures after your last logistics management.
That is after the 1 hour.
Yes, please.
Okay, because like I wanted to arrange with you whether that 1 hour we can do online and do 2 hours via face-to-face. But that one is on your discretion. I am the facilitator. I can't impose anything on you. So if you feel that that will going to be a rush hour and then we'll not get everybody online on class face-to-face, then we can adopt the online version for only Thursday. And then the class on Wednesday starts at what time?
5:15 to 7:15.
5:15 to 7:15. Okay. On every Wednesday.
Yes, please.
Okay. Then okay. Then we'll see how we can arrange. But let's meet in class next week and then we will discuss other things as well. Okay.
Okay.
Good. So I hope you can see the projected course outline or the syllabus. The session is evening and procurement and logistics class. You've seen my name already. Now the course synopsis or the course description. This course will focus on the various methods used in research. It will expose students to the main component of research framework, including research problem, research design, data collection and analysis, ethical issues in research, and report writing. It will provide an understanding of the nature of research and how it is applied in business and management. The course also exposes students to the application of statistical software packages such as Microsoft Excel, SPSS data in data analysis. Now, with regards to the course objective, the objective of the course are to prepare students to generate, refine, and translate research ideas into research topics, develop an understanding of various research design and techniques, identify various sources of information, of literature review, and data collection, and equip students with data analytical skills, and develop an understanding of ethical dimensions of conducting research. So basically, this course is supposed to expose you to get understanding or appreciate what research method is as well. And under what circumstances do you use a particular research approach? And also research design. We'll also be looking at data collection and then the data analysis and interpretation, which is the dissemination of the results. The learning outcome is supposed to, at the end of the course, students will be able to formulate research questions. In fact, even before then, the research topic, objectives, and that of the research question. That is a chronological order that the research is supposed to channel to. Then it will also give you opportunity to write your research proposal. To give you the chance to write your research proposal. And the reference document. You need to know how to reference citations. So we'll be looking into different, or the main one that we'll be looking at, we'll also discuss it. Yeah, the Harvard referencing style. I don't know whether that is what we are using. Class rep,
Hello, Prof.
what referencing style do you use? Or you not be referencing?
We have not been.
Okay. So we'll be looking at, I'll take you through. It means that you'll not be referencing your work that you do.
We sometimes, but we don't know the type we are using.
Oh, at this level, you have to know, please take full control of your life and make sure that you know the referencing style. We have Harvard, APA, MLA, Chicago, Oxford. I'm sure yours is a Harvard referencing style because that is what we adopted for, GCTU. Then after that, we'll also be looking at the course content, introduction to business and management research. When I say business and management research, you all fall underneath. Because when you are talking about procurement and logistics, we are doing business. All right, and you are in a business school. So for that matter, we'll be able to look into that. We'll also look at research philosophies and ethics of research. Then we'll be looking at reviewing literature, formulate the research design, data sources and methods of data collection, analysis and presentation of data, and writing and presenting a research. What goes into it? We'll look into it as well. These are the books that we'll be using. Saunders, MP, Lewis, and Thornhill. 2029. Research Methods for Business Students, 5th edition, FT Printing Hall. So if you look at this is a reference. And then this is using what we call Harvard referencing style. So we'll learn about all this. Then 2, Cooper, D, and Schindler, PS, 2003. Business Research Methods, Boston, USA, McGraw-Hill. And this is also another material you need to grab and then read it before we come to class. I'll schedule it such a way that you must be able to do your own reading as well. Then Creswell, JW, 2009. Research Design, Qualitative, Quantitative, and Mixed Method Approaches, 3rd edition. This book, I have it. I will also share that one with you. And you have to be able to, please, if you want to understand research, you need to read this particular book. And then the last but not the least, we have Esther B. Smith, M. And top are Jackson P. and Low A 2008, Management Research, 3rd edition, London, Sage. So let me give you the strategy. If you look at this, first, we are making reference to the referencing style. Sounders, you see, is comma, the initial. So in the in-test, you use only surnames. You don't use Christian name. So for example, if you want to refer to my publication, it will just Malcolm. You not even add professor to it. Malcolm 2000, then the initial follows. And you look at the way the initials are done, the first initial will take comma, and the second one takes what? Full stop. Then the title of the book in italics, when the book was published, Boston or Prentice. Then McGraw is the publishing house. Likewise, the second one, the third one, you see Creswell is talking about the research design, qualitative and quantitative methods approaches, 3rd edition, and it was published in London, and the publishers are known as Sage. So you can see that this is a referencing style, which I'll take you through as well. Now, with the schedule, the welcome, introduction, class guidelines, syllabus, and reading, that's what I was doing apart from the introduction that we'll do in class next week. We'll be looking at definition of research, nature of research, business and management research, purpose of research, types of research, and the research process. Then formulating and clarifying the research topic, attributes of a good research topic, turning research into research projects, writing the research proposals. Well, with all these things that we are going to do today, we are going to explore what is research design, what is research itself, and its related areas. So we'll cover all this, and then we'll move on to week 2. That is a research and ethics, research ethics and philosophies. So we'll know what is research ethics, what are the research ethics to whom and from whom. Then we'll have ethical principles of research, some philosophical issues. We'll look into that. Then the 3rd week, we'll be looking at developing a research topic. Then here we'll identify an issue of concern or interest of researcher, stating the issues in the form of a single question. And then we'll be looking at turning the question into statements. Or topic, then evaluating the topic. Then we'll also be looking at week 4, writing a research proposal. Then we'll look at what is a research proposal, importance or relevance to research proposal. We'll look at component of research proposal, guideline to writing a good research proposal, criteria for evaluating your research proposal, and then relationship required to finish your proposal. Then another critical area in your research proposal writing is literature review. So if you see the structure, literature review normally takes, a 2nd or the 3rd week. where you have to review existing literature that is talking about the subject matter that you want to delve into, and then provide the gaps that the research source to address. So we'll be looking into that. So we'll be looking at introduction, definition, form of literature review, reason for conducting literature review process, structure of literature review, presentation of literature review, and then evaluating the content of literature review. Now we'll be looking at the 6 weeks, we'll be looking at the references that I talk about. What is referencing? Reasons for referencing, plagiarism, how to avoid plagiarism, referencing styles, then APA referencing in detail, in-text referencing, and then references. So over here, it's telling us that it's APA, American Philosophical Association. That is the full meaning of that. Because when I was handling this course previous, we were under KNUST, and KNUST, they use, what we call Harvard referencing style. But it looks as if they changed. But now that we are full-fledged university, we need our own policy document. Because other than that, when you go for the review, they will not even consider you. So it's very important that we look into that issue into detail. Then week 7, we'll be looking at formulating of research design. What is research design? The need for research design, types of research design, components involved in the design, time horizon, credibility of research findings, and criteria for selecting a research.
Hey,
Please mute your mic. Please mute your mic. Right. So we'll be looking at those under design of the research. Then how about selecting samples and then negotiation assets, or what we call the sampling size techniques or methods. So here we'll come to the need to sample. Overview of sampling techniques. So we'll be looking at the need for sampling, overview of sampling technique, deciding on a suitable sample size, choosing the appropriate sampling technique, checking the sample representativeness, and strategies to gain access. They will be looking at collecting primary and secondary data. The difference between secondary and primary data. It is clear when we talk of primary data, it's the data that you are going to collect. You design your own instruments. Either you are going to do qualitative, whereby you can do that of using interview guide and also using observation and document analysis. So we'll be going into that. Secondary is that somebody have collected the data, and you are going to use it to do your interpretation. So you get that one also. Then we'll also be looking at criteria for assessing measurement skills. We'll be able to go through it. Then we'll be looking at criteria for assessing measurement skills, preparing, inputting, and checking data, exploring data, and presenting the data. Okay. Then week 12, we'll be looking at correlation and regression analysis. We'll do the practical session of SPSS, Excel. Then we'll also be looking at concepts about relationships, nature of relationship, direction of relationships, strengths of association, and covariation and correlation coefficients. They will look at Pearson correlation and chi-square. These are research techniques that you are going to use to form your research. Now, the course requirement. Class attendance and participation is key. And I know you are workers, but as much as possible, we all have to cooperate so that we can have a very good ambience whilst we are here. There shouldn't be any form of conflict with your time and the lecture. We need to look at it into critical terms. So it's something that is enormous in private universities. So we need to make sure that we avoid that. Class attendance is very, very important. Then internal assignment, there will be internal assignment given to you. And with regards to this will take about, on average, 35 marks. Then looking at the final exams, it's gonna be 60. So if you look at the 5 plus 35, it gives you 40 plus 60, the final exams that will grade you of that. The teaching method will be the PowerPoint presentation. There will be reading materials, and the effort should be made by students, you to be able to read in advance of any class that we'll have. Student responsibility will be looking at how you take up responsibility about the assignments, class sessions that you have to attend, and your ability to answer questions in class. And you might not know that I will know all of you and your participation in class as well. We do this so that when students are found wanting in case of any ailment or anything, we can now testify with that no, this student is one of my best students in class and he contributes very well. So we'll look into that as well. All right. So in brief, this is going to be the syllabus that we are going to, the schedule that we are going to use. I will ensure that, do you have online platform already? Have you been participating in any Moodle platform that you have your information there? Class rep.
We have the school model, but it's not that effective.
Why is it not effective?
Some of it depends on some of the informations are not there.
If you say some of the information are not there, what do you mean by that? No, we have course by course. Anyway, this is the first time you are doing this course, so you might not know whether there is a platform for that. But this is the first time I'm teaching procurement and logistics class. I normally teach management class, so I will check. And if it's not there, I will create a platform online and then upload the course materials for you, including the syllabus. Is that point clear?
It's okay.
All right. So let me stop sharing and then project the PowerPoint. Any question before we move on? Any question? Okay, I will ask you a question if you don't want to ask me a question. What is your understanding about research? Mm-hmm. You can raise up your hand. You see there's something in the chat room. Okay, it was Millicent who was writing present sir. Okay, that's okay. So let me have my class. Yeah, what is research? I can mention name at random. So prepare yourself. Maxwell,
Yes, sir.
what is research?
So from my understanding is like digging deep into a topic to learn more about it or finding more understanding about a particular topic.
Okay. Digging deep into a particular topic or subject matter. Good. How about Bauer? Bauer.
Yes, sir.
I know some of you have taken your smartphones and now going onto AI or going into Google. I know, because I was once a student like you. I don't have any problem with that. So tell me, Bauer.
I think that it involves the gathering of information about a particular subject matter in a systematic way.
In a systematic way. Very interesting, Bauer. In a systematic way. It means you have to follow certain procedure. Good. This class will be interesting. I have Shabrace in the class. Christiana Naughty. How about your understanding about research?
Okay. Please, is there some
Christiana, you are breaking. Christiana, you are breaking. Christiana, we didn't hear anything. Christiana, we didn't hear anything.
Say,
You are now talking.
please. Please, is the systematic investigation of a particular topic.
It's a systematic way. So you are adding up to that of what Bauer has said.
Hello?
You got your definition online. So according to what? According to which
Yes, sir.
dictionary? Is it Oxford Dictionary? Is it dictionary online? What type of dictionary are you quoting from your source?
Sir,
Because in research, that is also something
please, I'm just adding up.
you are just topping up, top academy.
I'm
Okay.
just adding up to what about. Yes.
All right. Okay. Then we also have another Christiana Nyakum, or the same person. No, one is Christiana Norte, one is Christiana Nyakum. Yes, Christiana Nyakum.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Christiana, go ahead.
Sir, okay, so I think research methods are specific procedures for collecting and analyzing data.
Christiana, I didn't say research methods. So we will come to research methods. I say, what is research?
Oh, okay. Sir, so is the investigation into studying materials and sources in order to establish facts?
According to where did you get your source from?
Sir, Google.
Google. Mm,
Yes, please.
yes. You see, it is one of the things you have to learn from today onwards. Anytime you pick any material from Google or internet, you can paraphrase it in your own language. I'll teach you how to do paraphrasing, okay? So that
Yes,
you will
sir.
not be cited for plagiarism. Then you make reference according to Google. Then you show the source. Then in that way, you are doing research. But if you just pick the material like that and thinking that you formulated it, then it becomes known as plagiarism. It means you are stealing the information. Christiana, is that clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So let's go to the last person. Ernestina Kisiwa Ofosu. Ernestina. Ernestina. Oh, Ernestina is working. It's not online. But so far as I saw you online, means you are online. Ernestina. So Ernestina couldn't say anything. Okay. Gifty lying.
Sir,
Hmm.
um, sir, can you say research is the creation of, let's say, gathering information and new knowledge, bringing them into existence to create or modify a new system.
A new knowledge. Or
Yeah, like
new.
creation of new knowledge or
Okay.
the use of knowledge in a new creative way to generate new concepts.
Generate new concept. Where did you get your information from?
Google.
Google. So I just told you, I know, because the way you are speaking, I know you are calling it for somewhere. Because me myself, I'm a researcher. So I just told you that you just say, according to Google. Then we know that you are picking it from Google. But don't make it as if you are conjuring it from your mind.
Okay, sir.
Okay, good. So now let's roll. Now that you have some understanding of research, let's delve into it. So the outline of the presentation will look at definition of research, nature of research, business and management research, purpose of research, types of research, the research process, formulating and clarifying the research topic, attribute of a good topic, research topic, turning research ideas into research projects, writing the research proposal. So now let's come to, you see the way I started. Saunders and Lewis, 2007, define research as something that people undertake in order to find out things in a systematic way, thereby increasing their knowledge, adding existing knowledge to existing knowledge, okay? Or it is something that you delve into details, and then you'll be able to ascertain what the whole issue is about, and you increase people's knowledge on the subject matter. For example, let's say the use of artificial intelligence, the chat GPT, and you want to know more how students are using GPT in academic writing and how it is helping them or not helping them. It's a research that you can conduct. And in fact, it's one of my research areas, knowing how artificial intelligence is propelling students' academic creativity and innovation. Because there is a research question that says that many educators and students flout plagiarism issues by moving to curl information on ChatGPT. All that you have to do is to give it a prompt and ask it define what is research. And I know some of you have done it in AI. It will give you all the response. So research is to delve into something, and the word there is to do it systematically. So systematic research suggests that research is based on logical relationship that can be justified and not just beliefs. To find out things suggests there are multiplicity of possible purposes for your research. And they may include describing, explaining, undertaking, criticizing, and analyzing. We'll come to what we know as Bloom taxonomy and what it entails when it talks about higher order of learning. So research may also be defined as a systematic inquiry into a question or a problem to arrive at justifiable conclusion. So there might be instances whereby you have to delve into a subject matter and arrive at a conclusion. So every research, when you are done, you need to come out with conclusion and recommendations. What do you think should be done? And at times, that recommendation also entails that further studies can be done in this particular area. You are making recommendation in that order. Then at times, people misconstrue certain things and say that that is what research is. So let's look at what research is not. So research is not a mere information gathering. For example, searching the internet or library for information. This is merely information gathering. The ability for you to interrogate into those information that you gathered by asking questions by finding solution to them, then you are doing research. So if you just gather information, you gather literature on a subject matter, is not yet research. You need to interrogate into that particular, and you need to have a research question and the research objectives as well. In addition, what research is not transportation of fact from one location to another. There's no interrogation over there. There is no critical analysis over there. In addition to that, research is not reassembling and recording facts or information without interpretation. So the word interpretation is very important. And research is also not a catchword to get attention. It is not like, let's say, if you've written a paper underneath under the abstract, then you say the keywords, artificial intelligence, robotic engineering, digital information. All these things are key elements of catchwords, but they are not research. They are just giving you a guide to what is supposed to be. Then when we talk about attributes of a good research, we are saying that research involves the quest for answers to and solve problems that lead to high degree of originality. So I'll break down some of these terms for you. We are saying that research involves a careful data collection, organization and articulation of what is already known about the problem and what is yet to be known. That is what we call in literature lacuna. It's a gap. It's a gap. For example, if I'm studying into artificial intelligence among tertiary institutions in Ghana, and there was another research paper on that, but the person didn't look at, areas of policy. And I'm interested in policies that can guide the use of AI. That is a gap that I'm feeling in that particular research. So I have to delve into the subject matter. The research is also a structured process. We follow a systematic order or rule of execution. One of you made mention, about two of you made mention of a systematic order or approach. Why do we say that? Because if you want to research into any subject matter, if you have the subject matter ready, then we come and then pose right introduction of that subject matter. What is the trend? What is the issue? So if it's artificial intelligence, now all focus is on artificial intelligence. In academia, in the industry, even in other administrations, they are making use of artificial intelligence. So it is a problem you want to hurt and unveil. In other words, you also have to follow the structured process and then follow it to the latter. So from introduction, you come to problem statement, you go to objectives, you go to research questions, you go to hypothesis, you go to significance of the study, you talk about limitation of the study. That makes up chapter 1. It's a structured way of writing a proposal. Research is also characterized by careful design procedures that apply rigorous analysis. So if you say you are doing what we call exploratory study, there is a step to do exploratory study. And the research design can be either sequential or either, you are doing that of quantitative before you do qualitative, which is a mixed method approach. Whether you are doing, all of them at the same time. That would be, you are doing sequential research methods. And by that, you have to indicate, is it explanatory or is exploratory? Explanatory is where you do quantitative, then after that, you follow it by qualitative. We'll talk about it in general. So that is when the rigorous analysis that you use, the interpretation that you use by using softwares like SPSS, Atlas, Stata, Excel, these are all instruments that you use to analyze your data. Then research is also involved rigorous application of logic and objectivity in the procedures employed. So we are looking at application of logic and objectivity. It should flow. And I'll show you how that is done when you are picking your topic and you are writing on them. Research is also based upon observation, observable experience, or empirical evidence. When we say empirical evidence, you are basing your judgment on the pre-existing information. So if you say empirical literature, we are talking about literature published in journal articles, the most current journal articles. That's the empirical, and we have also what we call theoretical literature. That's based on theories. In other words, research demands accurate observation and description, especially if you are doing qualitative research. So you look at the observation, things that you've observed or things that you've actually seen, and then you need to describe them accordingly. So research involves gathering new data from primary or first-hand sources or existing data for a new purpose. Research also involves logical, plausible explanation of the finding of your research, of the study or investigations. You need to interpret the results. In addition to that, research usually go beyond the specific subjects in an investigation and emphasize the development of generalization principle or theories that will be useful in predicting future occurrences. So if you have a design, how to research into a particular issue, where you state your objectives, you also have to come out with your conclusion, especially with quantitative research methods, to generalize the findings. It means that when that tool is used anywhere, you can get that same information as well. And we also say research process is replicable. It means you can actually use it to do other researches. That's what we call the replicability of research. You reapply the same principle, and then you can be able to get those answers accordingly. According to the purpose of research now, according to Collis and Hassel, research is to, one, review or synthesize existing knowledge. The word synthesize means that you have to break it into pieces and have a different meanings to it. In addition to that, it can also investigate existing problems or situations. It also provides solutions to problems and explore and analyze more general solutions. Construct or create new procedures or systems. And construct or create new procedural or processes of a particular phenomenon. And also you have to use to explain the new phenomenon. What are the new findings? And then you generate new knowledge. So you either generate new knowledge or also combination of any of the above will be that of the purpose of research. We have broad terms, 3 categories of research over here. The first one is the basic research. So the first one, basic research. It is also refers to as fundamental or academic research. And it is conducted to advance scientific knowledge through the development of theories. And these theories comes in academia, where you can posit a theory and make findings on that. You apply it into the research that you are doing and come out with conclusion. And you can also develop your own theory as well. And that's what we call hypotheses turn out to become theories. The hypotheses are assumptions that you put together, and then you establish or you try to validate those assumptions. So hypotheses are, let's say, propositions. But when it comes to the real research theories, that hypothesis have been validated and now become a theory. And people are using it for their studies. At this level, you'll be hearing it like that, theory, theory, theory. But when we go into deep, you understand. And I'll be giving you assignment to understand some of these theories. So the primary aim of basic research is to improve knowledge generally without any particular purpose in mind at the outset. So basic research is driven by scientists or the research interest in scientific questions. Main thing here is your research interest or the scientific question. And the main thing here is to motivate the people not to create something. but create it scientifically. By scientifically, you prove by the theories that you are using. And when your findings also come, you need to look at it and see what issues is it addressing. That's from the basic research. So basic research is done in academia, like what we do as professors. If you go for conference to present a paper, we need to espouse the research areas and then move out from there. So take note, basic or pure research is done in academia or in academic institution. Then we have another type of research called applied research. Applied. As the word means, applied. The research is conducted to solve practical problems. It is not just to gain knowledge. You need to solve a problem. And with that, we call it applied research. For example, if you realize that students come to school very late because they are working, and you want to find out the state of students' absenteeism and also lateness to class, you now have to do that research and apply the findings. And when it came out to show that students, because most of them stay away from far away to come in for lectures, and when they come to class, they are so tired. So you try to find out from them through questionnaire that how will it solve the problem of student, addressing the lateness and all those to class. So you ask them questions in the questionnaire. So when you use the questionnaire and the majority of students are showing that the face-to-face class is not helping them, so they should do blended mode, then the blended mode become a solution to the issue. So you can see that we have to apply that research results onto the fact that, well, now GCTU have resolved that we are not going to do only face-to-face, we want to do online and face-to-face. That is applied. We use the findings to apply to a real situation or policy. So we can say that an applied researchers have the goal of bringing betterment and in human lives. It is also called evaluation. Utilization, appraisal, assessment, or policy research. So doing so, this one become more applied. Or if a research is conducted into a particular subject matter, and you want to ascertain what is a judgment. Judgment is normally evaluation. What is there before and what is there now? Has any of the project that you are working on have changed any situation? So they follow, basically apply research process. Then the last, but not the least, is the action research. Be very careful you don't confuse apply to that of action research. When we talk of action research, it's an inquiry or research in the context of focused efforts to improve the quality of an organization and its performance. The purpose of action research is to solve immediate and pressing practical problems. Though similar to applied research, listen attentively. In purple, it is more restricted in outlook because the value of action research is confined to those conducting it. Let's say a group of researchers are interested in how students perform in academic work. So here we are talking about students' academic performance. So here we are going to the methodologies that will ask questions to students. So since it's only on academic performance, our focus have to be on academic performance and do that research and then find the results. And if you find the results, you apply it in the real world sense. So it is typically designed and conducted by practitioners who analyze the data to improve their own practice. Action research can be done by individually or by teams of colleagues. So it is a direct opposite of basic research because basic research, we say, is conducted scientifically in academia, but with the action research by organizations, especially NGOs. I remember when I was a project manager of an NGO, we were delving into subject matter about students' sexuality. So we delved into this area and we came out with intervention programs. So the intervention program will now come very clear on if you do this, this is a benefit. If you do that, this is a benefit in that order. So action research can be done by individually or by a team of colleagues. So individually you can do it or you can do it as a team as well. So this type of research, we are coming out to talk about the approaches. But before then, I want to pause over here for questions from you. Bombard me with questions now if you don't understand anything. Then we'll discuss it. Probably some of your colleagues will even have answers. So ask questions. And if you don't ask questions, I'll call you by force to ask me a question. Theophilus.
Hello, Prof. Please, can you go over the applied research and the action research again? Because it's quite confusing.
Yes, that is why I said that. Cock your ears very well. I know you get it confused. Everybody gets that one confused. Okay? Okay. Look at what applied research is saying. It is conducted to solve practical problems. Practicality. Practical problems. It is not only to gain knowledge, but action research, you gain knowledge and also use it to solve practical problems, especially within organizations. So applied research is designed from the start to apply its findings to a particular situation or problem. Then here we say that we can say that applied research have the goal of bringing betterment in human lives. So by evaluation, you look at the formative research and that of the end line, or what we call the summative. Something that have been done already. Let's say drinking water. in the community, you want to assess whether they are having a good water sources. So you go to the community and find out where they get their source of water from. And by doing, you are trying to solve practical problems. So as soon as you get that one, then you find out from the people. You find if they see that they are drinking water in the same pond like cattle and other animals, then you can say that there's a danger of that community contracting certain diseases like bilharzia, which is like river blindness, okay? You can also get another infection in the area of your liver. So what is the solution? Then the solution can be designing a borehole, constructing a borehole to provide water to the people. So borehole become a solution to that practical challenge. So what are we doing? We are bringing betterment in human lives. That is applied research. When it comes to action research, it is an inquiry or research in the context of focused efforts to improve the quality of an organization and its performance. Whilst you look at applied research, it's looking at community, it's looking at situation and also trying to improve upon the situation of that particular organization. So here we say the purpose of action research is to solve immediate and pressing practical problems like that of apply. Though similar to apply, yes, in purpose, it is more restricted in outlook. That is another difference in action research as compared to apply. It's restricted in outlook. And here we are talking about organizational performance. And because the value of the action research is confined to those conducting it. So if you are a researcher, you are conducting action research, it might be related to your organization, or it can relate to a particular operation. That's why we say that it's limited to by context. And we say that it is typically designed and conducted by practitioners. When we say practitioners, it's like health workers. It's like mine workers. So when health workers goes into see how their work is impacting on the community, then they can conduct action research on their performance. And their performance results must hinges on whether they are doing it right or they are not doing it right. If they are not doing right, what are the recommendations or what are the solutions to it? So whilst action research is dealing with practitioners and also confined in specific areas, applied research is more general or generic. And action research can also be done by individuals or a group of people. Theo?
Yes, sir.
Are you clear now?
Yeah, so per what you are saying means that maybe, for example, maybe if a lecturer is doing a research in GTT alone can be termed as action research.
Yes, but take
Then
note,
maybe
there is a type of research. So what is the issue? It will be the way the lecturers are teaching.
yes, sir.
Teaching effectively, that become more action oriented. It's the lecturers who will do that.
Yes.
We are the practitioners in the area. That is action research.
Okay. And for the applied, it's a broader scope, maybe covering maybe the whole universities in Ghana.
Very good. And also
Okay.
looking at it in the broad sense.
Okay, I get it now.
Any other question? Hmm? Any other question? All right, then let's move on. We call something research approaches. Before I even go there, I want to test the know-how. So let me ask you, what are the research approaches? If I ask you this let's say, in a multiple choice type of question, and I ask you, what are the approaches of research? What can you tell me to the class? Theophilus, have you raised your hand? You've raised, so you can lower your hands now. This is a new question.
So the question again, please.
What are the research approaches? Research approaches. When they ask you, what are the research approaches? And I can give you a clue. There are 3 in number.
Sir, please, is it a qualitative research method? The quantitative, and the other one, I don't remember.
Who is that? Millicent?
Yes, sir.
Are you asking me or you are providing me the answer?
Okay, sir, please, I'm providing you. I know there are 3, but I know the qualitative research approach, the quantitative as well. But
Correct.
the last one, I forgot.
So the third one is the mixed method.
Very good. The mixed method. Is cocoa, is it not cocoa? The quantitative, qualitative, and the mixed method. These are. So who can tell me what is quantitative? What type of research is it? When you are conducting, give me some of the features or the characteristics of those quantitative. If you know it like that, I know people are Googling now, hard. But I can see you. I know. Maxwell, tell me, what are some of the features of quantitative research?
So it deals with numbers and statistics.
Very good. It deals with numbers. The analysis deals with numbers. And we use statistical tools like SPSS, Excel data to do that. You see, people say research is difficult. It is not difficult. So I try to demystify it with my students so that you can remember. You see the way I'm doing it, you can recollect it very fast before I even go over. Any other? Maxwell again? Give me another one.
So of the quantitative.
Yes, quantitative and quantitative.
So those are the only two I remember for now.
Okay. Anyway, you've done well. Let's hear from others. Let some of you also top up. Gifty.
It's it can be measured in scales or range.
Come again.
Scales.
Scales. What do you mean by scales and range?
Like do you like grouping them?
Grouping them like how?
Let's say tallying them in a frequency way.
They are all part of what your earlier colleague have actually stated as statistics and other related.
Yeah, please, my name is Maxwell.
Maxwell, yeah. There are many of them, please. Or you are reading it, you don't understand. You are afraid that when you said it, I'll ask you to explain.
Like, can it be a form of survey?
All right, I can consider you also. It's a type of quantitative research, surveys, because in research, quantitative, we also have experiments. Okay, experimentation is also a type of quantitative research, so survey. So if you say survey, Gifty, what do you understand by survey?
Sorry. So like collection of information.
It is not only collection, in qualitative to do collection of information. Be precise.
Or like, let's say a collection of information of a sample, like you want to find out about a particular something. So let's say you take this area, you find samples of the information, you gather information to generate knowledge.
You are trying, but the way you are saying it, you don't sample the information, you sample the population.
The population.
Yes, you take only some aspect of the population. For example, if I'm coming to do research in GCTU level 300, I can just say I'm interested in procurement and logistics students in level 300. I've surveyed that particular population, and I'll deal with only those students in level 300. That is what we call survey. Not the entire population of students at GCTU. If you are doing everybody in GCTU, it's called census. But if you are selecting a sub population, it's called survey. That's all it means. Good. You've done well. Gifty. Let's hear from the rest. So that's another one.
Sir, Please, does quantitative also, okay, no, I'm not asking, but I'm saying that it also deals in, it
I
also
like that.
deals in, it also deals in, like we also have continuous quantitative, such as the length, age, and height of like a population or something.
Come again.
I'm saying that with the quantitative, it also deals in like looking into the length, the age, height, and the weight of let's say a population or like a sample.
Mm-hmm. Those are some of the things you have to group them very well. We call them demographic characteristics.
Yeah.
Is, let's say, age, educational level.
Mm.
But this is both in qualitative and that of quantitative. So we can push it under mixed method. Because mixed method is the combination of both qualitative and that of quantitative.
Oh.
Yeah, any other?
Hello, sir.
Christiana.
Christiana. Sir, please.
Come again. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Please, I was saying that the quantitative research also uses deductive reasoning.
Deductive.
That means
I know your network. Your network. You are right.
And then create conclusions.
You are right. But what do you mean by that deductive reasoning, Christiana?
Yes, please.
What do we mean by that?
Yes, sir. Sir, please, the deductive reasoning it talks about forming general ideas and then observations. And then
It's mean posing relevant questions and make argument out of it. And deductively, because it's a logical information that you proceed. And out of that, you go to further justify it or by coming out to show the conclusion. We'll get there. You've done well. I know you didn't give me source, but I know you gather it from somewhere. Because the way you were saying it, you were not paraphrasing, you were reading it direct. I was expecting you to tell me.
my
Hello. Come again.
Hello, sir. I was having issues with the
Christiana, your network. Christiana, your network. Hello, Christiana, can you come again? Christiana, okay, anyway, let's move on. The last one, then we go on to that of qualitative. Mm-hmm.
Can we add descriptive research to the qualitative?
Come again.
Descriptive research.
It's a type of research design.
Okay.
We can also have descriptive in that of qualitative, which means that you describe the phenomenon. We have explanatory, exploratory, then we have correlation. You can say correlation, that will go into quantitative. Because in quantitative, we do a lot of correlational analysis. And we also do relationships as well. Anyway, we'll get to quantitative. Let's come to qualitative. What are the features of qualitative? Mm-hmm. Let's do it sharp. Don't waste time on this.
Hello, sir.
Ernestina, speak louder.
Okay, sir. The qualitative research.
You're far away. Check your, Christina, check your mic, your volume, sorry.
Hello. Hello, sir.
I can hear you from far. I don't know whether it's me alone.
Hello, sir.
It's better now. Go.
Okay, the qualitative research, it also focuses on understanding behaviors.
Understanding behavior.
Yes, please. Such as interviews, focus groups, and observations.
Those are the means of data collection. So I was expecting you in quantitative to say that one of the features of quantitative is the use of questionnaire. In quantitative, the data collection is using what we call interview guide, but the process is interviewing, observation, and document analysis.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Any other qualitative? Any other, please speak fast so that we go.
So please, I don't think there's no other.
Sir, please, can I say it deals with categorizing data into groups?
It deals with what?
Categorizing data in groups.
Categorizing data.
Yeah.
What do you mean by
Like,
that?
let's say, gender, the opinions of people and all that.
Gender. Quantitative too, we can do gender.
Okay, so it means it will fall under the mix, right?
Yeah. Quantitative also, we do that of gender. You can do demographic characteristics of the population.
Okay. All right.
All right, let's move on. But you have to be reading. At this level, all these things should be at your fingertips. So when you learn it, it stick. Okay. So let's look at what the issue is about. So we say that in research can be approached in the following ways: quantitative, qualitative, and then mixed method. Then we have deductive and inductive. Whilst deductive deals with quantitative, inductive deals with that of qualitative. And I will explain. So quantitative research is a means for testing objective theory by examining the relationship among the variables. It's a means of testing objective theory. You come out with a theory, and then you examine those theories. So people who deals in quantitative research, in fact, that is a traditional research that started with a whole when the research is a very scientific way of doing things. So you start with an a theory, and then you use the theory to do your analysis by coming out with the research questions, and then you come out with your literature review, the methodology, then you do your analysis in the objective manner. When we say objective manner, you state your objectives in such a way that your methodology will not involve human beings' interactions like that of qualitative. Qualitative, you, the researcher, have to interact with the population. The quantitative, you only send questionnaire, and the questionnaire can be done online. You can use SurveyMonkey to design your instrument, which is called a questionnaire, and then the participants will fill it and send it to you. We say that when you do it like that, it avoids what we call biases. It will not influence, the person who is doing the research will not influence the outcome. Many are those who criticize qualitative that it involves subjectivity. So whilst subjectivity is qualitative, objectivity is for quantitative. So subjectivity vis-a-vis objectivity. So now, the emphasis of quantitative research is on collection and analyzing numerical data, which one of you made mention of. It concentrates on measuring the scale, range, and frequency of the phenomena. And that is what one of you mentioned. I said that it is a measure of doing it. Okay. One of the features of quantitative is also that it deals with large data sets. Your sample size should be large. You can use 2 or 3 people and do quantitative, but qualitative, you can use one person to do that research. But quantitative deals with large data sets. This type of research, although harder to design initially, it is usually highly detailed and structured, and results can be easily collated and presented statistically. So that's what one of you made mention that I mean, it involves statistics and then numbers. So you are talking about percentage, you are talking about ratio, you are talking about intervals that they talk over here, and also frequency, the number of people, the occurrences. And the results of quantitative are supposed to be reliable and validated. Reliability means that the instrument that you design, when they use it in any human settings, it should follow the same trend of doing it structurally and then doing that relationship. So the testing of that objective theory and also examining the relationship among the variables. When we say variables, they are entities of study. For example, if you are talking about logistics, if you want to find out what we call the green logistics, okay, and its performance on the organization. So the green logistics is independent variable. Then the performance is the dependent variable. So one is depending on the other. Since you are looking at the relationship between the green logistics and the performance of the organization, so you need to know all the features under that green logistics. And what do we mean by performance of the organization? Are you talking about profitability? Are you talking about, I mean, the image of the organization or the brand of the organization? What are you referring to? These are all variables that you can test. So those are the issues about quantitative. With qualitative, it's a means of exploring and understanding the meaning individuals and groups ascribe to a social or human phenomenon. What does that mean? Exploratory study is like a gray area that they've not delved into. And if you want to delve into that area, let's say green logistics, okay? Or let's say green procurement. What is this? A new area that is now coming. So if you want to do it, qualitative research method will be the one, because you are going to ask very thorny questions. But with the qualitative, the questions will not find out how, why, where. It will only show what. So qualitative study will let you explain a phenomenon into a different dimension, going into in-depth or deep understanding of the situation. So qualitative research is more subjective in nature. Subjective in nature in the sense that you, the researcher, can frame the questions to get better understanding. But when it comes to quantitative, it's subjectivity. You cannot touch the element of what you want to study. Qualitative study, when you go to the field, you can probe to get better understanding. But the quantitative, the questionnaire have been structured. So you go strictly with the questionnaire. But the qualitative, the instrument can actually change in the field. So when we talk of subjectivity, we are talking about the researcher's own perspective. But objectivity doesn't bring in that researcher's perspective. So we say that qualitative research is more subjective in nature than quantitative research. and involve examining and reflecting on the less tangible aspects of a research subject. For example, values, attitudes, perception. Somebody's phone is on, and gadget is on. Please mute your gadget because we are recording. So Louisa, take note of that. So we are talking about values, attitude, perception, and others can be done qualitatively. So by talking about attitude, you can talk about attitude of students, and you have to explain what the attitude means. Those who show very respectable issues, those who are rude, those who are self-centered, you have to operationalize the terms, or you define the terms, and you go with them. Perceptions can also be searched. So although this type of research can be easier to start, it can be difficult to interpret and present the findings. Because when it comes to the findings, you have to establish what we know as thematic areas. What are the themes mentioned? At times, you can also use the question approach to answer the question, the answer. So when the research objectives are set, you go in to talk about the various elements of what it means. So it becomes very difficult. Actually, not everybody can do qualitative if you are not well versed in it. But it is very easier to design. And when you know how to interpret the data, it becomes very easier for you. And as I've said, some of the features normally they deal with description of in words, not figures. They don't deal in figures. They don't say 20%, no. Quantitative, we don't talk about percentage ratios. We also talk about intervals among others. But qualitative, we talk about issues like high level of, perceptions on something, low perceptions, and medium, perception, in that order. So there are quite different in it when it comes to qualitative and that of quantitative. Then I made mention that in data collection, we use interview guide. Unlike quantitative where you use questionnaire, qualitative we use interview guide. And by the method of data collection, we can conduct one-on-one interview, focus group discussions, where you group on average 6 to 8 people in a group and you pose questions and take answers. Then, in addition to that, you can also have a phenomenon where you can interrogate individual in terms of the sample size, where you interview one person or two people or even maximum 10, okay? Because when you have more data sets, the responses become more monotonous. So we call something saturating point. So when you reach your saturation point, then you pause over there and you move on to another level, to another question. Then another type of data collection method is observation. Observation is that you observe a phenomenon. For example, if I come to class and I want to observe that class while the class is going on and I'm not teaching, I will observe everybody the way you are behaving in class. Those of you who will be browsing on your phone and you see some people will be taking notes. Some will be dozing off because they are tired. They are from work and they are tired. So I will comment on all those areas and write my reports. It's observation. And there are two types of observation. The participant observation is a situation whereby, as the one who is observing, I will ask students questions. Why were you dozing off? Was the class boring? Or is it that you are tired? Or you are not showing any interest? Or for those who are participating with rapt attention, I'll try and find out, why did you glue to the subject matter? Is this something interesting? Is this something that you cherish? That is participant observation. If I don't ask any question, I'm just observing and writing my report, it's called non-participant observation. Then the third data collection method in qualitative is document analysis. In document analysis, I'm going to review reports, publications, memos, any material that relate to that subject matter. And if I'm doing, let's say, I'm doing two different types of data collection, I'm doing interview, then I can use document analysis to buttress my research to see whether there is triangulation. Triangulation simply means using different data collection methods to arrive at the same results. So if I use interview guide and conduct my interview, and my interview is telling me what I observe and what the documents are there to show, it's called triangulation. Triangulation. Take note of that. So I can ask you in exam, what is triangulation in research? It simply means using different data collection methods to arrive at the same results. In qualitative study, we do particularization because whatever you are researching is particular to that context, culture, or any other related issues. Whilst quantitative look at generalization. That's why the instrument, you can use it anywhere. By qualitative, some of the cultural issue will change the questionnaire, the interview guide. In qualitative, we don't use questionnaire, we use interview guide. It can either be structured or unstructured. Unstructured is that you just pose questions in general, and then you pick the subject matter one after the other. But if you structure your questionnaire, your questions very well according to the themes, then that can be termed, qualitative, the data collection method. And that is used by interview guide, either structured or unstructured, whether well documented or you just ask questions. When you go to the field, by your knowledge, you ask any questions that comes in. And in this analysis, we use different approach called thematic content analysis, among others. Thematic means what are the themes that are emerging in your results? And you, the researcher, will interpret that results to the population that you are referring to. So that is about the qualitative. Then when we talk of that of mixed method, you can either do quantitative, then you do qualitative. When you do quantitative before qualitative, we call it sequential explanatory method. Sequential explanation. It means that you've done quantitative, then after that you use qualitative method to see whether you gather the same results. You can also do qualitative first, and then do that of quantitative. It's called exploratory, sequential. Then the third one is you can do all of them at the same time. While you are collecting data quantitative, you are doing qualitative. That one is called concurrent. It's a type of design, concurrent research design. We'll talk details about research design, but this one I'm just giving you in the broad thrust. Good. So after you talk about the quantitative, qualitative, and the mixed method, then you also talk about what is deductive research, and then the inductive. The deductive research moves from general ideas, theories to particular a situation. So you come to general, then you narrow it down with the arguments. So you see the difference between deductive and inductive is that with the deductive, you move from general ideas to a particular situation. But in inductive research, you move from particular to what? General is direct opposite. Don't let it confuse you. Deductive research moves from general ideas or theories to particular situation. But inductive moves from particular situation to a general, or in fact, broader general ideas or theories. We'll be looking at more examples whilst we move on to the next level. The research process. In research process, we have what we call conceptualization. You conceptualize the idea that you want to. If it is a green logistics, what do you want to look into green logistics? Is it how it helps organization to perform? Or it helps the organization's performance? Or the organization's profitability? Or the organization innovativeness? So you conceptualize the ideas, and then you develop the research questions. And then the hypothesis. The hypotheses are the proposition that I talked about. And it needs to be proven whether valid or invalid. So your analysis, so we do quantitative, we do hypothesis testing. Then you review literature. Then you come to methodology. Then you design and data collection and analysis. And then you report on that research. And then you can also talk about further research in your recommendations. If you realize that other research can enhance understanding of your work, you can establish that there must be further studies in this area. And in this wise, they must use mixed method instead of what? Quantitative or instead of qualitative. So the research process starts with conceptualization of the idea of the research. And the second point is where you develop your research questions, your research objectives, the research, gap that you want to establish. You support it with literature. Then you can also now talk about methodology, then the design, data collection, reporting, and the further studies. So now, formulating and clarifying a research topic. So how do researchers come up with the idea for a research project? It comes in different forms because one of your assignments, in fact, it might be your mid-semester, is to pick a topic and develop your research proposal. So the idea is, how do I pick my topic? So some of them will come from practical problems in the field. We are doing procurement and logistics. So what are the issues with procurement and logistics? So you need to ascertain it in the field. Those of you working in the ports and harbor, clearing agents, among others. What are the issues? So you need to come out with the issues very clearly. So that issues, then you pose a question. And then after that, you come out with your research topic. Or you've read literature. When I say literature, articles in journals. And then you try to pick these journals, articles, and then they talk about further studies. And then you can pick your topic out of these recommendations in the articles. So one source of getting topic, it can also be your interest, that's the field, or what the literature is saying or the article is saying. Then the third one is where you request a proposal. At times, they will publish it in the newspaper that they are looking for proposal for individual organization to conduct a research into. They normally come in the newspaper or online or organizational who is looking for that proposal, their website. We call them requests for proposal. Then the next one is think up their research. It's like the practical problem in the field. You can also think about any research issues, but it must be in your area of study. It must be in your area of study. So you think up in those areas. Now, attribute of a good research topic. Your research topic should not be too broad. At times, students who pose a research, currently I'm supervising some students, undergrad, and the way they proceed their topic, I ask them, so what is your scope? When it comes to data collection, who are the people you are going to collect the data from? Who are your respondents? Then they are now thinking, if you don't determine your topic very well, it will create problem for you. That's why you have to link it to an organization. So you have decided you are interested in employees. Well, that is a broad subject area, likely to have a large amount of information written on it. To narrow your topic, choose some specific aspect of employees, such as performance, commitment, engagement, turnover, motivation, attitude, and among others. So just write, what drives employees' engagement at GCB? So here you are talking about what? Employee engagement, which is a variable. What do you mean by employee engagement? In your literature, in your write-up, we have a portion called definition of terms. You need to define what you mean by employee engagement. So your topic should be narrow. Even though it's supposed to be broad, it should have a scope. Then another question you have to ask yourself is, my study feasible? Is it doable? So the first one is data. If you pick your topic and you don't link it to an organization that can give you the data, you finish the work and then you realize that no, you've not justified the work. So data access is very important in selecting study area. So we are doing a case study of, let's say, GAPOHA, Ghana Ports and Harbor Authority. Ask yourself, would they give me this information if I send letter from their school? Would they allow me to collect data when I'm due? So pick probably a clearing agent that you know can be able to provide the information, or even your own organization if you are in your procurement and supply chain era. So to check whether it's doable, your data. Then availability of literature on the subject. Some topics are very new that they don't have enough literature to use. Then you also think about timing. You have to think about how long the research will take to accomplish. Some students will pick topics that are like a PhD level at the undergrad level because it's very generic. It's very broad. So you need to make sure that you see whether you can do that research within the period that is available. Then ethical considerations. You have to question whether there are important ethical constraints that need consideration. Ethical consideration, if you are interviewing a minor, is not allowed in research. You need what we call parental consent. You need consent from their parent before you can interview them. If you don't do that, you'll be liable. It's an ethical issue. They cannot accept your word. Likewise, you need to get what we call institutional review. Needed cooperation. Cooperation from where you are going to collect the data. These are questions you have to ask yourself. How about cost consideration? Then, if you realize that the cost is too much in conducting this research, then you have to abandon it and take the one that you feel you can do. If you have to travel so many miles to go and collect data, today you come, they are tossing you, tomorrow you go. They say come next day, you go there, they don't give you information. It will increase your cost, your transportation, and everything. A research proposal. A research proposal is a formal written proposal, is a result of interaction between clients and a researcher. It translates business concerns into research problems. An approach to solve the problems are agreed upon. It involves performing research. So we'll be looking at research proposal into details. So in brief, this is what we have for you today. And then as the introduction part of the class, when we meet, that is this week, starting from Wednesday, we'll be looking at another interesting aspect of it. And then let me share with you what we'll be looking at next week. You realize that we move further the 3 hours. That means we combined the 2 classes last week. I mean, almost like 30 minutes more for us to have the 3 hours. So that's about that. Next week, we'll be looking at developing a research topic. Developing a research topic. I'm going to share Cresswell book with you now. And I want all of you to download it before I shut down the platform. So hold on a second. By the way, any question? I don't want my class to be a boring one. That is why I normally ask students to interact with me. Any question? Mhm. And I also share this presentation on the platform for all of you so that you can get it with the course syllabus. That one, let me see whether I can throw it onto the WhatsApp group so that those of you who come on late can also have a GL. So read this book, go to the content and look for the determinants of what you need to do when it comes to deciding on the research topic. So that's the book. It's called Creswell. Then let me also gather other information for you. Mhm. Yeah. So I shared 3 things: the research book, the first, the course outline, and also lecture 1 of today's proceedings. Any question? Class, Steve, there's no there, we can close the class, okay? All right. I want to thank you very much for your time. It's not a usual time for us to meet, but you assisted me. So I want to thank you very much for that. And thanks for the interaction. I want more interaction from you. Those of you who have not spoken today, next week will be action. That one will be in class. So prepare before you come. My class.
Hello, bro.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please, this is Robert Kojo Amagavi.
Kojo Amagavi, what can I do for you?
Sir, I'm present, just that I'm at work, so I've been on and off.
Okay, let me look at attendance and mark you present. Who else is there?
Sir, please, Prince
Good
Asante.
afternoon.
Hold on, one after the other, then I can do the marking. Let's see. Okay. So then first one is Amegavi Robert Kojo Amegavi.
Yes, Prof.
Okay. Who else?
Sir,
Prof,
please, Prince Asante.
The name again?
Prince Asante.
Prince, okay, there are 2 princes. One is Godwin Ofosu, who was in class earlier. So Prince Asante, yes, I'll mark you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, who else?
Sir, please, Philip Akotojan.
Philip Akoto de Jan. Okay.
Yeah.
Kwabena Jan.
Yes, please.
Right. I'll mark you.
Thank you, sir.
How about Estana Shade Tete? No news from her. Okay. How about Louisa Esina Mensah? Are you here, Louisa?
Yes, Prof. Yes.
And you were not talking. You know, I'll mark you absent.
Please, I'm here.
So if I didn't mention your name, like you'll be quiet and you get absent against your name. You see, I'm a nice man.
Yes, sir.
Then we have Esther
Thank you.
now. Esther is still nowhere to be found. Okay. I try to be nice to my students. She's the only person who is at work today.
Sir, please, Esther is on duty today.
Pardon me?
So she's at work. Esther is on duty.
Is he a military person?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. It's understandable. But we'll get the materials for her. Share the materials with her as well. She's on the platform, so she'll see it over there. Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Right. So everything is done. Philip, your hand is up.
Sir,
All
please,
right.
it was about the attendance, but I'm okay now.
No.
Thank you.
All right. I want to thank you very much once again for your participation. Prepare next week. We are going to talk about research topic. Think about your area you want to focus on, because no matter how, you are going to write a proposal for me. So think about it. You can read articles, you can read previous BSc logistics project work and see what are the recommendations they pose. Okay? Go to the library and do that research before you come. On this note, I would like to draw the curtains down on today's proceedings. Have a great
Sir. Sir.
Yes.
Please, can we have the recordings, please?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that I'm going to record and then share with you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. See you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, sir. Thank you.
Bye.